All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us for this information session with Victor Hudson from Erie Insurance. Victor, thank you so much for joining us. And Victor had introduced himself a little bit earlier. He's an IT supervisor with Erie Insurance and also a former employee and graduate of Edinburgh University. So, Victor, thank you so much. Please take it away.
Thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate you having me on the call, and I thank you everybody for joining me today. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about Erie Insurance as a company as a whole, talk a little bit about our future focus program internships that we offer through IT, and I'll talk about some full-time opportunities through our apprentice program within IT as well. And then I'll leave some time for questions at the end. So to kind of get started and kick us off, to talk a little bit more about Erie, the company. So we were founded by H.O. Hurt. He was our founder, and he founded our company on the principle to provide our policyholders with as near perfect protection, as near perfect service as humanly possible, and to do so at the lowest possible cost. And that's something we always live by, even within here in IT. You know, we're all contributing to the goal of offering very affordable insurance to our policyholders. So, anyone here on the call have Erie Insurance as their provider, whether it's car, home, or auto? Anybody?
Yeah, I do. Car
Oh,
insurance.
yeah, yeah. No, every time I'm out recruiting, there's always a few that stop by, like, I have you as my insurance holder. I'd love to stop by and talk. So we're operating in over 12 states and Washington, D.C. as well. So we're pretty well known in this region. We're located at Erie, Pennsylvania, which is about 30 minutes north of Edinburgh's campus, if any of you are familiar where Edinburgh is. And we're about 2 hours from Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Buffalo. We're truly about an hour and a half from Cleveland. So we're really centrally located from all three of those cities where we pull a lot of our interns from. But we do pull interns and some of our full-time employees from all across the country. Okay, so to talk a little bit now, this is our CEO, Tim NeCastro. That's some values that he put in there and kind of our what we see as kind of our mission statement in a way. But I'll let you kind of read that on screen. But Tim NeCastro, he's been with the company here now over 30 years. He started as an underwriting intern actually and climbed his way all the way to the president and CEO. So we're a very family-oriented company here at Erie. We're very employee focused. We really appreciate a great work-life balance for our employees, not just our interns, but full-time employees as well. So we're really big in there. So a little bit more about Erie's. We've been strong and stable and successful for over 95 years. So in 2025, actually, will be our 100-year anniversary. So we're super excited and gearing up for that. We're a Fortune 500 company. We have over 5 million policies currently in force. We have just under 6,000 employees. So I like to refer to us as a little big company. You'll see if you ever step foot here on campus, everyone always is greeting each other with a smile, a handshake, opening doors for each other. So it really is that family atmosphere. So again, I started with the company all the way back in April. So I've been here about 6 months. But from as soon as I stepped on campus, everyone is super supportive, and there's definitely that family atmosphere. So we have over 12,000 plus independent agents, and our agents are all across our footprint. As you can see here, we're all the way up in Wisconsin, all the way down to North Carolina. Okay, and our goal is to expand into different states in the future. But right now, we do 12 states very, very well, and also DC too. So we're ranked among the 500 largest companies in the U.S. in terms of revenue by Fortune 500 magazine. We're among the 20 largest property and casualty insurers in the U.S. Based on direct premiums, rated A plus superior best company by an independent agency that ranked us, and we're always ranking in the top percentile when it comes to the work-life balance that we offer our employees. So we truly are a great company in that aspect. And there's definitely a sense of pride when you work at Erie Insurance and you go around and telling everybody, where do you work, and you say Erie Insurance, there's definitely that sense of pride that you have to offer. So truly a good company when it comes in that aspect. So, careers in insurance. So I know everyone here on the call is interested in IT. When you think of insurance, you think IT, like what? And I thought the same thing. I'll be completely honest. When I was asked about and brought up to potentially apply for a position here at Erie Insurance in IT, when they said IT, I was like taken back. I'm like, what do you mean? IT, insurance, Erie? but we do have over 800 employees within IT, and we have over 50 different teams and areas within IT. So from InfoSec to our claims division to our cloud security, we have a little bit of everything here at Erie when it comes to IT. But we do have a bunch of different opportunities within Erie Insurance all across our footprint, not only within IT, but also within the business side as well. So moving right along, talking a little bit more now about the culture. So what's cool about Erie is we have a lot of these affinity networks and employee resource groups. So we're truly big on our DEI efforts here. We have a whole division dedicated to making sure our employees feel inclusive, and then there's equity as well. Affinity networks that I'm a part of the African American Affinity Network, and I'm also a part of Multiplicity. And Multiplicity is all about recruiting diverse talent here to Erie as well. So I can tell we take that very serious here. Again, just within my first 6 months, I've already joined 2 affinity networks. So that's something we definitely want and encourage for even our interns to get involved to this level as well. So living well at Erie. So we offer very competitive pay, even with our interns. We offer salary position, I shouldn't say that, hourly positions with our internships. And then we also offer relocation as well. So for my Clarion and for my Cal individuals, you will get paid relocation as well to help minimize some of that cost. And that's on top of your hourly rate as well, which is very convenient. We offer on-campus housing at Gannon University, which is about a 5-minute walk from our home campus. So when it comes to our summer internships, which I'll talk about here coming up very shortly, we offer housing as well. So that's something that you can get through us, and we'll help you get placed up with Gannon. And again, we offer that relocation that helps pay for that as well. So again, we do really well in that aspect. So our healthcare plan as well, I know some of us are interested in full-time positions. Our healthcare plan is better than 75% of other employers. Employees contribute about 10% of the cost. And we also offer a healthy lifestyle program incentives, $250 or $500 if you have a spouse as well, if you enroll in our program, okay? So we offer you incentives to stay healthy, and that's just something simple as going to your doctor's appointments, your yearly checkups, dentist appointments, all that. You get points in that incentive program. And again, we give you a bonus at the end if you complete it. So pretty cool stuff. We offer a 401k and a pension. Only 16 future Fortune 500 companies offer that, so it's really cool. Tuition reimbursement, professional development opportunities, adoption assistance, identity theft protection. We offer very competitive time off, and we also have a fitness and gym membership discounts. We have a fitness center here on campus as well. So, excuse me. That's what we offer in terms of what we offer here at Erie Insurance, and all the benefits comes with working here as a full-time employee and an intern as well. So a lot of those, I went over those, are going to be for our full-time employees, but again, for the fitness center and all that, you would get that as an intern as well. So transitioning a little bit now, talking more about our future focused internship. So our internships run from May all the way to August. So it's a 12-week long internship. You would get onto campus here at the home office here in Erie, Pennsylvania, and you would work with an assignment manager and a mentor. So you'll have 2 people dedicated on your team to making sure you're succeeding, making sure you're doing well in your area, okay? So you're offered very challenging assignments in a stimulating work environment, and those assignments are going to be directly contributed to some of our IT share goals. So again, I coordinate the entire internship process here at Erie when it comes to our IT department. When I'm soliciting opportunities within our IT division, I'm making sure there's work for you that's going to be contributing to some of our IT share goals, okay? So this is going to be high-level work, high-level exposure work, where you're not just doing backlog information, right? Or backlog stuff that, some of our direct contributors can't get to. You're working on true projects with other teams, right? So for some of my software engineers out there, there'll definitely be time for you to do some heads down coding aspect. But for the most part, you will be working in teams, right? You'll be working with direct contributors, leaders, senior leaders, presenting to directors as well. So this is a very active internship. There will be opportunities for you to job shadow with senior leaders, but for the most part, you will be doing the work, which I think is great when it comes to experience, okay? That's the whole point of doing some of these internships. Yes, you want to have some of that shadowing experience, but we're going to give you stimulating work that's going to contribute to our goals that we have here in IT. So like I said, you'll have a personal mentor along with your assignment manager. Your assignment manager will be your direct supervisor who you will report to. If you have any time off you need to report, anything of that nature, you'll be working with them. They'll be assigning you work as well, but your mentor will also help you assign some of that work. And your mentor will most likely be in some of those projects that you're working on, truly a go-to person for you. However, very standard across the board within IT. We would have you get to know everybody on the team, right? So you'll set up one-on-ones with your assignment manager and mentor, but we highly recommend you set up at least a touch point with all your individuals within your area, right? To get to know them. That could be an opportunity to learn more about them and learn more about their journey and how they got to where they are today. Okay. We also have a ton of events set up throughout the summer as well. So in addition to your assignment work, you'll have opportunities to network with CEOs, executives, some of our senior leaders. We always have a senior leader event within IT where you would meet with some of our senior leaders who directly report to Parther, our CIO, and you get to hear more about their experiences and whatnot, and talk to them and get to know them better. We have educational and professional development programming. So again, with our Future Focus program, we have a Future Focus program holistically for our entire enterprise of Erie Insurance, and they'll put on events as well that will be networking based, but also educational based as well. We also have community service projects that you'll participate in. We require at least an intern to participate in at least one service project a summer. So that could be going down to Prescal, helping clean up the beach. It could be a whole host of things. We always have a couple different options for you all. And again, we do have that relocation assistance like I talked about before. So again, for the individuals coming from further than a 50-mile radius, you'll have some relocation opportunities as well that will help finance for you. So I will say for our intern program, our goal is to convert 75% of our interns to full-time positions. So again, we see an internship here at Erie as not just a 12-week internship. Truly, we see it as your first job here at Erie Insurance that can lead into that full-time position. Okay, so our goal is to hire from this program. That's our intent, right? So we're not just bringing you in for 12 weeks. We will really want to see you throughout your whole early career and really into your later career as well. Because someone said this to me when I was first starting working here. You can work at Erie for 30 years and have 5 different careers because it is that massive of a department within IT and enterprise wide as well. So this is a little bit more about that breadth I was talking about, right? All the different internships we have to offer and all the different areas as well. So when it comes to insurance, there's claims, underwriting, risk control, some of the corporate functions like accounting, actuarial, DEI, community outreach, crisis prevention and management, data, IT software engineer, the ones that we're kind of focused on here today. Excuse me, internal audit, marketing, project management, which we have a very a robust project management team here within IT. So if that's somebody interested here on the call, feel free to ask some questions about that. And then area experience and enterprise risk management. So those are just a few of the internships that we have offered. But again, that doesn't even go into the depth that we have across the enterprise. But truly, that's what we hear. That's what we have to offer in terms of our future focus internship. So I'll dive even deeper into the intern program as well. So we have opportunities available in a variety of IT departments. So I touched upon a few of them. We have over 50 of them, right? So again, from InfoSec to our claims to engagement experience to the CIO division, there's a ton out there, right? And we'll, through the interview process, be vetting you all to kind of talk through where would you be interested? Is it InfoSec? Is it cloud security? Would you want to be part of one of our stand-up cloud teams that we're doing? Because that's one of our big initiatives here now is to migrate some of our data to the cloud, right? Do you want to be a part of that? So that's something we talk through. Even the UX space, right? If you're a UX analyst and you're interested in that, that's something we can talk to. So we really want to place you in an area where you would like to be in, so we can kind of build off that for future years. If you'd like to come back for another internship, or potentially stay on through the school year and get hired on into our apprentice program. So you'll benefit from expert training, develop new skills, and gain experience to help shape goals and aspirations. You'll participate in weekly intern core teams. So within our internship, so full transparency, within IT, we have the most interns. We have over 31 interns this past summer. We're looking to hire about 28 interns this next summer, about 14 analysts, 14 software engineers. And I believe we're trying to bring in probably 2 or so um, 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 what do you want to say, project managers as well. So we're looking around 28 to 30. So we do have by far the most across the enterprise, okay? Within those, we put you into core teams. So those core teams make up about 5 to 6 interns per core team. And then those core teams will have a core team lead and a core team co-lead. And that co-lead would be an individual going through our apprentice program, which I'll talk about here shortly, okay? So you'll learn from others in your field, name mentors to your unique assignment area. You'll be with experienced assignment managers. So most of the assignment managers are a supervisor or director who will be, again, touch pointing with you each and every week to make sure everything's going well. You're getting assigned a relevant work and you're making sure you have all the success you need, right? So going back real quick to those core teams do meet weekly. So again, it's a nice weekly touch point that you have with other interns to kind of talk about your experience, making sure everything is going well. And again, those are just a nice group of individuals that you're kind of going through your internship with as well, okay? So there's plenty of opportunities, plenty built-in opportunities for that mentorship and to build some of those relationships with your fellow interns, but then also some of our professional employees as well. Okay. So some specific IT events that we have. So again, I talked a little bit about our senior leader event. We always have our senior leader event where you'll meet with Partha's direct reports. We'll have an intern social event. So our social event this year, we went to Prescal. So I don't know if anyone here has been on the call here has been to Prescal, but Prescal is our beach that we have located up in Erie. So we had a nice little intern social where we put some food out, had some games to play, and then we had a couple team building activities. That was a really good time actually. And then we had the IT career fair. So the career fair is like basically what it says, different areas within IT. We had about 45 different areas this year, table and staff tables where our interns and apprentices walk through to hear more about their areas and what they have to offer. So again, you'll get you'll have an assignment area that you'll be working in, but you'll get to hear from all the different areas as well to learn about what they do. Because again, we do have so many different offerings. There's no way we could obviously get you into all of them during our 12-week summer. But we'll definitely give you an opportunity to kind of talk with them and build those relationships as well. And then also we'll have events throughout too. So we always have a few different social events, but for the most part, that's what our event calendar looks like. But again, that's on top of your full-time work and all that good stuff. So within the intern program, again, our goal is to hire about 75% of you into our apprentice program, okay? So an opportunity to advance into our social level analyst, engineer, or administrator roles through our IT apprentice program. So our IT apprentice program is a 2-year program currently where you have 3 rotations within different areas within IT, right? So it's a full-time position. You get full-time benefits, full-time pay, but you are on the job training for 2 years within IT, where we give you a breadth of experience in different areas. And then at the end of those 2 years, if you're performing at a professional level, you'll graduate into a professional level role where we would place you within the IT organization based on business need and based on your interests as well and some of your prior rotations. So if you were to go through the intern program, you would have 1 rotation there within your assignment area, and then you would have 2 additional ones after that. So you would have a really good breadth of experience in your first rotation, but then your next 2, you'll have an 8-month rotation in each of those, which would give you equaling about 2 years. So again, you'll get a ton of experience. We pour a lot into individuals who go through our intern program all the way through our apprentice program, where you get close to about 2.5 years of training before we place you in a professional role. So we do a lot to prepare you, and we do a lot to make sure you're set up for success when you graduate from the apprentice program. So some summer highlights. So again, we had over 31 interns this past summer, 12 weeks long. We had Future Focus and IT program events. Now, again, Future Focus, those events will be inviting all interns from across the enterprise. So we had about 131 interns total this past year. So you'll see interns from all across the enterprise, but we do have IT related specific events, which I kind of detailed in the previous slide, okay? So within IT, again, you'll have those connections with the core teams, the assignment managers and mentors, but then anybody else also you connect with, right? So with me, I coordinate all of that in the background. So you'll see me at the kickoff event and I'll be talking to you, waving to you, like, hey, have a great summer. But after that, I kind of fade a little bit into the background and you'll be working a lot more with your assignment managers and mentors and core teams, okay? And with those core teams, you'll be developing a final presentation that you'll present to assignment managers and directors and senior leaders as well. So that's one of the main things that you will absolutely do within your core teams as well. So that's one of the main things you'll work on. So applying for an internship, how do you apply? So excuse me, real simple. You have to be currently a full-time college student pursuing a bachelor's degree at an accredited university or college, or completing a master's degree full-time. So for some of my seniors out there, I know you're looking for full-time roles. However, seniors who graduate in May of 2024, you are still eligible for an internship if you would like. And again, a lot of our interns who intern with us through the summer will potentially get offered an apprenticeship position, which is a full-time role as well. So we've seen a lot of seniors take that route. I know it may not be ideal for your first 12 weeks post-graduation to have an internship, but again, a lot of our interns do end up taking full-time positions in our apprentice program, okay? So we also look for a minimum GPA of a 3.0 is required, and there's a link to apply. I also believe, and Rhonda, correct me if I'm wrong, our job is posted on Handshake as well for Penn West, correct?
I am just checking that as we speak, Victor, but I'll let you know.
Perfect, perfect. I believe so. If not, again, you can go to that link right there. It will take you to our internship. You can also just Google Erie internships, and this should be one of the first links you can pop up, right? And then you would want to apply. If you're interested in the software engineering route, you can apply as an IT software engineer. If you're interested in more of the analyst work, you can apply as an analyst as well, okay? You can also apply for both. There's no harm in applying for both if you may be interested in either path, okay?
And Victor, yes, all of the internships are posted on Handshake.
I love to hear it, Rhonda. It looks like we have things together, doesn't it? Perfect. So a little bit more about the apprentice program. So I touched upon it a little bit, but I do want to go in depth. So for our IT analysts, software engineers, and IT administrators, there are 3 8-month rotations, a totaling of 2 years in the program. Okay. You'll transition throughout the IT enterprise via business need and individual desires. So again, we'll give you that breadth of experience because we really want you to be pretty well-rounded once you graduate from the apprentice program, to be placed really into any area within IT based on business need, right? So this is a very unique opportunity for individuals to get full-time pay, benefits, all that, start earning towards your pension as well while you're on the job training. So our apprentice program is one of our unique things that we offer here at Erie, and one of the hidden gems as well. You can actually only apply through it through a direct link through a referral program, and then you also our interns do have some preference in there as well. So again, FYI on that. And then for our project managers, again, I don't know if anyone here is interested on the project manager front, but we do have that option as well within the apprentice program. That is also 3 8-month rotations plus a 1-year capstone, totaling 3 years in the program as a project manager. So once you would graduate the apprentice program, you can go into a couple different professional areas. So mostly people go into the analyst and software engineering roles, but we do have people go into the administrator's role, which is a combination of an SE and an analyst in a lot of different ways, depending on the areas you would go into. Application developer, system engineer, security analyst, web developer, technician, project managers, and other support roles as well. So once you graduate from the apprentice program, those are kind of the professional areas that you'll be looking at within the IT realm, within our scope. That's all I have for you today, but I'll open it up for questions, okay? You could check us out on any of our LinkedIn's, Facebook, or Twitter. I'm also available on LinkedIn as well. Please connect with me there. You can just look my name, Victor Hudson. You can type in Erie beside it, and I should be one of the ones that first pop up. But really at this time, I wanted to open up for questions. I kind of gave you a perspective of Erie Insurance as a whole, you know, Erie and where we come from, but also IT and our future focus internship. And I touched upon the apprentice program as well. But I'm prepared to answer any questions that you may have. If I don't know the answer, I can definitely get back to you as well. So I'll let Rhonda kind of run the Q&A. So I'll pass it over to you, Rhonda.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Victor. So much good information.
Of course.
Please do feel free to type your questions in the chat or unmute yourself and ask if you like. Software Development Club. I think I had unmuted, or I had muted you initially. So if you'd like to ask a question.
Yeah, I appreciate you doing that, actually. I went up to go mute us, and then I realized it had already been done, so thank you.
No worries. No worries. Any questions for Victor?
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I had a question. So I saw that you're looking for GPA requirement of 3.0, actively
Yes.
achieving a bachelor's. But what are some of the qualities that you're looking for in an ideal candidate for your internship program?
So what I look for, so I'll tell you the little bit of the process that we go to screen some of our candidates. So once you apply, your name, your resume will be put through a simple screening process to make sure you meet the minimum qualifications. If you meet that, then you move on to a resume reviewer, which is usually myself and another Tom supervisor. Okay. And truly what I look for is a lot of applications I see have a computer science or the degree we're looking for, right? So what really sets people apart is where you can weave in some of your leadership qualities, right? So any leadership opportunities that you have. So I know a few of you on the call here are president of the computer science club or a chapter, right? Put that on there. Tell us what you were involved in within their school, right? So again, did you just go to class and just kind of went back to your dorm and hang out, or what else did you get involved in? Put all that in there, right? Even things dating back to high school. If you're a captain of a lacrosse team, put that in there. You know what that tells me is this individual is a leader. This individual has respect among their peers, and they're highly regarded. So that's what that tells me. But also weave in some of the more specific technical things, like you have awareness. It worked in Python, Java, JavaScript, all that stuff, C++. If you put that in there, that always helps too. But definitely weave in some of the projects that you even worked on in school, right? If you took the lead in a project you worked in one of your classes, right? Any certifications you may have. So little tip here, for any place you're looking to apply for, go on their website, right? See what they're talking about on their website. So if you would go on our website, a lot of our IT, we're talking a ton about cloud. We're talking a ton about agile ways of working, right? If you can grab certifications in that space, and there's free ones you can grab online, take some of those courses, right? Get some of those certifications, put that on your resume as well. So I know for us, we're making a big push towards cloud and putting a lot of our data in the cloud. So we use AWS, right? So we're offering a ton of AWS certifications and upskilling here at Erie. And again, I don't know how much this costs from an outside perspective. I know here at Erie, we offer it for free, but if you can go online through AWS and see if you can get some of their certifications, even if you could say you took some of the classes, right? That stuff helps a ton and really sets you apart, right? So again, that's a tidbit just for any company you're looking to apply for. Go on their website, see what they're talking about, right? And see how you can align to some of those skills. Does that help, Joe?
Yeah, thank
Joseph?
you. I appreciate it. Very insightful.
Perfect.
I also have a question. So
Yes.
I'm not sure if I caught this, but do you need to be enrolled full-time in college to be in the apprentice program?
Yes, unless you graduated the year before. So again, we typically recruit sophomores and juniors for our internship program, but we have had seniors who graduate that May before, start that May in the internship. We have done that route. I think this past year we had two individuals that kind of fell in that category. So again, we typically have sophomores and juniors in our internship program in the summer, but we have had seniors who have graduated already. So yes, you can be a senior. So does that answer your question, Luke?
Yeah, so if I am going to be graduating in December 2023, so this December,
Yes.
how would that work out for me?
So actually, you wouldn't qualify, unfortunately, for our internship. However, you could apply for our apprentice program. We do have our apprentice program. And again, that's via direct referral. So what I can do for you, if you can coordinate with Rhonda, get your resume to me, I can put you through that direct referral program since we did have this conversation here today.
Okay, and would I be able to get any of your guys' emails in
Yeah, I
order
think,
to do that?
yeah. So my email's listed on screen. Rhonda, do you want to drop yours maybe in the chat, perhaps? All right,
Okay,
perfect.
thank you.
I forgot to unmute myself. I just did. So feel free to email me with any questions.
You have a question?
Yes, I have a question. First of all, my question is, are you guys able to do OPT? Are you accepting OPT?
OPT?
It's for international students after,
Yes.
let's say, doing the internship, if you want to keep going and working with you guys, is there like an OPT opportunity? It's like student visa and
Yeah,
sort of
gotcha.
visa and stuff.
That's a great question. So what I've been advised to say, we take that on by case basis. We don't have an overarching policy when it comes to our international students and students with visas, but we do take that on by a case-by-case basis. What I can tell you is I would recommend applying, disclosing that, and then disclosing that in terms of whatever the application request, right? And then we'll work through that. But that is a case-by-case basis. But great question.
And follow up, is
Yes.
there, I know we talked about summer internship, but is there any, maybe that you're aware of, like spring opportunities as well, or fall for after the summer?
Yeah, so all our internships start in May, okay? So it goes May to August. However, if the area would like to, they can keep the intern on through the school year, but we would not start an intern through the school year. Does that make sense? So you would have to be here during the summer, and then you can extend said internship, but an internship cannot start during the school year. So a little caveat there. We have, of the 31, I think we had about 16 stay on through the school year. So it is a popular option. You can only work up to 25 hours though. You cannot work full time. And most interns work anywhere from 10 to 15 hours max. That's typically the range we see. Because again, obviously we want you contributing to some of the work that we have here, but first and foremost, you're a student and you need to be focusing on your studies as well.
Yeah, makes sense.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Great questions.
Yeah, I piggyback on that question about if you're going to stay on and you have housing and you're doing housing at Gannon, I'm guessing, the semester may start. So students, if they're staying on for maybe another term, where do they go for housing following that summer opportunity if they're staying on through the fall semester?
Yeah, so if they stay on through the fall and summer, fall and spring semesters, you can work fully remote. So you can go back to school. So for instance, say we had somebody interested from Clarion, they went through a summer internship, but they want to stay on. You can still go back to Clarion in the fall and work remotely, fully remote, and still work that way and still go to school.
Perfect. And then to go with that, my next question was, then are there other opportunities for remote work other than the internship? Because I know that has to be in person.
Yeah.
So are there other remote opportunities?
There are other remote opportunities. As of right now, and again, policies could change, but as of right now, we do have fully remote opportunities for our software engineers and for our software admins and project managers when it comes to the apprentice program full-time. For our analysts, unfortunately, you would have to be in the office at least 2 days a week. So that's the policy that we currently have here in place.
I have a question for you,
Yes.
Victor. So I know that you mentioned and you clarified that graduating seniors in May, I'll specify, in May of 24, could apply for the internship. But is there a preference if they apply for an internship or the apprenticeship? Should they do both or should they prioritize one or the other?
I would recommend doing both.
Oh.
I would recommend doing both for sure. In terms of prioritizing, I wouldn't prioritize either one over the other. Obviously, I understand individuals want to make full-time salaries and have a full-time position, which I completely understand. So from a personal aspect, I could see people leaning towards the apprentice program. But I will say, again, we hire a lot of our apprentices through the intern program. So the intern program is our main pipeline for the apprentice program. So again, just keep that in mind and just full transparency there.
Thank you.
Yes.
What would you recommend for going into the apprentice program without being in the intern program? The internship?
Yeah. So I'll be completely honest. I haven't been through a hiring cycle yet for the apprentice program for non-interns, right? We just posted positions just a little bit ago, actually, right? So this is my first time through it, right? So I haven't gone through the resume screening or any of the interview processing, truly what we're looking for with that. But I will say, I'll kind of default back to what I said about the intern, right? I want to know, what were you involved in here on Clarion's campus? What were you involved in on Cal's campus? What'd you do in terms of projects? Talk a little bit about that. Talk about, like, again, we're making a huge push towards cloud and the agile ways of working. How can you put that on your resume to where you've experienced some of that, you've worked on that, you've gotten certifications in that area? That stuff will definitely make you stand out, right? So those are some of the things that we're pushing right here, right now. So again, I think that's something that you would want to weave into your applications. And again, I recommend that for any position you're applying for, any company, do some research and background information on their website. Even reach out to one of their workers on one of their employees on LinkedIn to even ask, like, what are some of those big initiatives that you're working on right now? How can I set myself apart, right?
Are there any project ideas that you'd recommend?
So, do you all do hackathons at all? Anything of that nature? Soda? Okay.
We've tried stuff like that, like last year. But we've kind of shifted the focus to more just educational content this year. But we are saying doing something next May. We'll see how that goes.
Okay. Yeah. Any projects that you determine that would stand out, right? That you really put a ton of effort into. I can't give exact examples. But any of those that you worked on in group projects, right? So we do a lot of group project work here within IT. Again, I know some people think, it's heads down coding a lot, and there is time for that, but you are working on a lot of teams, right? And working on different projects. So if you have any projects where you worked with a team, with your peers, right? You guys developed a new concept and you guys worked towards it, presented on it, anything of that nature, right? Anything that really stood out for you. I know some programs offer a capstone project that you have to work on, talk about that a little bit. Things of that nature, for instance, I was a sport and rec major here at Edinburgh. So yeah, now I work in IT, right? So what we did kind of for our final project is, we had to create a health program for a school, right? So we had to create a whole program for healthy employees, right? And we had to create it from start to finish, how we implement it, how's the change management, all that, right? So we put that together. That took the entire semester, right? But that was a huge project that we undertook. Anything like that, right? Where you're working in a group project, it was like your capstone project, and you did really well on it. Things of that nature show us that you can work in a team, that you're an excellent communicator, you can commit to a goal, finish it, commit to a project and finish it. Like those things stand out to us for sure. And any real world experience too. So Luke, if you have any prior internships as well within IT, put that on there. Any prior work experience as well. If you were a server, if cashier, put that stuff on there as well, and really detailed, all the great things you did and how it kind of can intertwine and weave into a full-time role here at Erie.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes.
Okay. Hope I wasn't rambling too much.
No, the more information, the better, in my
Sure.
opinion.
Perfect. What other questions? These are all great questions, by the way.
I can go next. Hey, Victor, I was just wondering if we make it to the interview process, I was wondering when would that be, kind of tentatively, and would that be like a remote or an on-site type interview?
Yeah. So I'll go through the funnel one more time because it helps me a little bit too, because this is my first time through it. So again, when someone applies, we would go through initial resume screening, making sure you meet the minimum qualifications. We'll have another resume screening with me and another Tom supervisor, where we would look through that. And then after that, if you'd make it past that, we would ask for an on-demand interview. So basically you would record yourself and send us a video, which we would score. You can take as many times, you can record it as many times as you want. You have unlimited takes. So once you complete that, you would send that back to us, and then we would score it. And then if you would score in the threshold, above the threshold that we set, we would move on to the panel interviews. And that's when you would do something on Teams. So we would send you a Teams link and you'll jump on. There'll be 3 other individuals. There'll be a Tom leader, somebody in leadership like myself. There'll be a apprentice, and then there'll be a direct contributor within IT. So 3 individuals kind of representing a breadth of what we have here to offer in IT. And they'll put you through a series of questions. They'll score it, and then we'll come back together as a team to decide who we'd like to move forward and make offers to. So you're involved truly in about 2 of the steps, where you'll do the on-demand interview and then you'll do the panel interview as well. So typically that process, and I fully admit that it does take a little bit of time, anywhere from 2 to 3 months for that whole process to kind of conclude. But we try to fill our classes before the new year, but we will go into January and do some interviews as well.
All right, thank you.
Make sense?
Yes, yep.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to streamline that process, but I will admit we have a lot of applications to get through. So.
So Victor, if I'm hearing you correctly,
Yes,
for students graduating in May, they
yes,
should be applying now.
yes, and that's something I was going to say.
Okay.
Should be applying now. Our application actually opens up, and this is for future years as well, early September. Rhonda, and I believe you work with our TA department, right? To kind of get those on handshake.
Yes,
Okay, super.
absolutely.
Penn
Yeah, I was
West,
curious
go ahead.
about your infrastructure and sort of like what you develop. If you could give us a bird's eye view of what your network, what you have going on at Erie, it must be massive, right? You must have a ton of customers, a ton of data, a
Yeah.
ton of servers. I don't know if you can just talk about that for 1 minute.
Yeah, so you hit the nail on the head. It's just massive. And again, for someone coming from outside of IT, so I don't have an IT background necessarily, but I do hear some of the terms they talk about and some of the projects they're working on. So a lot of what some software engineers will do is building enhancements on our already existing product line. So again, we sell policies to insurers, right? Through our agents. So our agents will offer feedback on how we can enhance a product, right? Or we're moving into a new territory, like North Carolina Water Project is a big thing that we have here. We're extending water coverage down there. So building applications on the back end to help sell those policies are some of the main things that some of our software engineers, our analysts will be working on. So our analysts are kind of the in-between in a lot of ways with the business and the software engineers. So our analysts will gather some of those requirements, help build some of those story cards where our software engineers will work off of, right? So some of the applications that you'll be working in Python, Java, JavaScript, C++, Mendex is huge here that not many other companies. Yeah, I see you look inquisitive there. Mendex is something that we use here at Erie that not a lot of other companies use. So I'll throw that out there. If you can find some Mendex training online, just to become familiar with that, that could absolutely help you stand out in a resume screening situation. Again, just giving you little tidbits there. But in terms of like the back end infrastructure, I can't really speak to that too much. Those would be some great questions to ask in the interview process, though, because I will have people who have experience in that background infrastructure that can talk a little bit more about that as well.
Do any of your IT guys work with like actuaries when you're doing sort of the data? Do you know if they do work with actuaries to do data analysis to figure out the risk? I mean, that must be a big part of insurance too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I believe they do, but again, I don't want to speak to that too much because that's not my realm. But I believe there's definitely some level of coordination with the business, especially with the actuarial, to build some of those modeling process. I like the way you're thinking, though. I like where your head's at.
Great questions. You all are so impressive.
Truly. Yeah, and let's keep the conversation going. Truly, it doesn't have to stop here. My information is right there on the screen. Feel free to shoot me an email, connect with me on LinkedIn as well. And let's keep the conversation going if you need anything in the meantime. And if you do end up applying, let me know too, okay? Because that could be that'd be good for me to know.